just come out and make such statements that you feel is derogatory to the advancement of that particular debate, are you accepting that whatever they say as organizers stands for you?
I didn't hear you because you didn't allow me to make my point.
Go ahead, make your point. Let me ask you the question again. Does it matter what the organizers say? Whether they use foul words, as you said, they say they are dwarfs. Should it mean anything to someone who's running for president to accept whatever they say? Shouldn't it be about the Nigerian people and his desire to be president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria?
Gimba, I believe the debate was organized for a society that is stable. I believe that the debate was organized for presidential candidates, people who are prepared to lead a nation of over 200 million persons. And if the major debater, through his agent, came out and said that those who are coming for that debate are political dwarfs, you expect our own political giant to come and stand in as a political dwarf when the organizers of the show did not find it expedient to say that, no, our debate is not meant for political dwarfs. Our debate is meant for political giants. Having made this clarification, I want to insist that Nigerians have accepted the apology of the people's candidate, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, the apology he made on behalf of President Muhammadu Buhari, who deliberately dodged the interview session.
Well, you know, Kola, it's interesting that, the organizers invited those candidates, and your candidates didn't show up. It didn't depend on what anybody else said. They did what they had to do. But now you want some sort of verification or authentication or rebuttal from somewhere else. But let me ask you then, part of what the PDP is also putting out there is you are accusing INEC, because look, there are those who believe PDP these days are accusing almost anyone and everybody of anything. What is it with INEC this time? Why is PDP accusing them of wanting to accommodate APC in Rivers when INEC has said that is not the case?
No, we didn't talk about Lagos.
Rivers.
We spoke about Rivers State, where the National Commissioner and Chairman of the INEC Committee on Information and Voters Education was reported to have said that if the APC is able to get its candidature issues right, election in Rivers State could be postponed. And we say in the People's Democratic Party that our position is that INEC had never, at any point in time, even where our party was involved in Ondo State, postponed an election on account of the failures or what the court has described as the stupidity of a political party. So I don't think there's anything wrong in coming out to tell INEC that if this is your plan, please don't come to town with it, because it will be resisted by the people. I don't know if there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, but there was a condition precedent, because he said it on the program here on Friday, and he said, look, at the moment, the court has ruled and they are abiding strictly with the decision of the court concerning Rivers that no logo, no name of the APC will feature in Rivers at the moment. Then when we did ask him that, look, what happens if there's a judgment contrary to the current position close to the elections? How convenient or otherwise will that be to the commission? That was when he then said, well, it depends on what the court rule. So whatever the court rules or whatever the case is, when they get there, they may have to accommodate them by postponing the elections if necessary, if the court so desire. In that context, is there anything wrong with that?
What the People's Democratic Party is saying is very clear and is unambiguous. What the People's Democratic Party is saying is that you cannot, on account of what the court has described as the stupidity of a party, postpone election. If, like it happened in Ondo State, we had few days to the election, and the court clears, so be it. But you cannot now, on account of that, because you didn't do it in Ondo State, you cannot, on account of that, now move the election forward or postpone the election to accommodate the party that failed in its responsibility. And we are not even surprised because it has no capacity to manage its internal affairs. So that's our own position with INEC. And INEC had come out to say that it had no plan to postpone the election. They have addressed the issue. So we leave it at that.
Then on the comments by former President Obasanjo, you know, for those who think that they may not be able to take that comment seriously because he's clearly supporting your candidate, and so anything he says contrary to the current government, they will interpret it as those trying to get some leverage or buy some support for your candidate.
But what the former President Olusegun Obasanjo said, does it detach from the reality? Is it a lie? Is it not a fact known to you and I, Chamberlain? Is it not the truth? Are we having the best in the world today? Are we recognized by the international community? Is this the pedestal of the nation when President Muhammadu Buhari assumed the office? Were we going through this type of killings? The hunger, the deprivations, the starvations? So what has President Obasanjo said? That anybody will come out, like you said, and say that it's because he's supporting a particular candidate or because he's supporting the people's candidate. So as far as we are concerned, President Olusegun Obasanjo's statement last night has come to vindicate the position of the People's Democratic Party. And it is so, because it is manifest to every Nigerian.
But you know,
that President Muhammadu Buhari,
you also have
a person does not have the intent.
If you could backtrack a bit,
we believe it's being pushed, like Aisha Buhari said, by a cabal in the villa.
But you also do know that there are many who believe that, but wait a minute, he supported the current president in 2015 in spite of the odds, in spite of what your party had said at the time. He knows him, if not more than a lot of people in this country. So how come some of these views finding a voice at this point in time if it isn't all about politics?
I don't know how, Chamberlain, I don't know how deep or how deeply you read about Obasanjo's letter. If you did, you will have found a position where he said, if you fool me once, you should not fool me a second time. Because if I allow you to fool me a second time, I will be the compound fool. And I think that succinctly answers the question. Yes, in 2015, even President Olusegun Obasanjo did say, and I remember, that Buhari might not be able to manage the economy, but he will do well in security. Has he done well in security? Are we not in the worst form of the economy? So if a man has not been able to demonstrate capacity, if a president has clearly shown incompetence, you want President Olusegun Obasanjo to now support, former President Olusegun Obasanjo to now support him on account that is his friend or is his colleague. There's something that I want Nigerians to understand about Obasanjo. When it comes to love for this nation, and I've had the privilege
ask you
of
this
reporting him when he was president.
and then we can move on from there.
And I think he's one
There's a point that I think many people would also be interested in the twilight of his government in 2007, before his second term ended. President Obasanjo at the time was said to be pushing for a third term, and he wanted to perpetuate himself in office, so to speak, at the time. That's the opinion that was held at that time. But now he is calling someone else a tyrant who wants to perpetuate himself in office for a second term. Why should people trust him?
Can you bring back that question? Because
In the twilight of his government, before his government ended, the second term of his government ended, President Obasanjo was said to have attempted to push for a third term in office, and that plan was said to have been botched. Now he is calling someone a tyrant, wanting to perpetuate himself in office simply for seeking a second term. Why should anyone trust former President Obasanjo?
Well, I think we need to get a fact straight. And that is the fact that a president can assume office today and become a tyrant. And the president can spend half of his term and turn a tyrant. And you must also not forget that the People's Democratic Party has consistently declared that there is a self-succession plot in the presidential villa. And you don't even need to ask me how or why. I'm an Azakari.
Unfortunately, we can't because we're completely out of time.
Whom the president himself has admitted that I'm related.
Pardon me, Carla. We're really out of time on this one.
You ask me.
Apologies. We really need to go. We're going short beyond the time. Carla Obasanjo is the National Publicity Secretary of the PDP. We appreciate your comment on this morning. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us.